कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Agni Pariksha that happened in Lanka is not an incident that talks about Rama having filthy thoughts, about having thoughts doubting Sita's Pativratyam or Charitram. It is rather an incident that says that even if it is his own kith and kin who do Bhagavatapacharam, who hurt the feelings of their devotees, like how in the case of Sita, she hurt Lakshmana's feelings while she was to be abducted just before to be abducted by Ravana. Rama wanted to ensure justice is given to such incidents, and that is why the Agni Pariksha was done. It was not a Pariksha as if he was doubting Sita's chastity. If he was truly doubting, Sita would have not managed to stay with him. She is Jagannatha Sita. So after Agni Devata came and gave away Sita to Rama, Rama says, Ananya Hridayam Sitam Machitta Parirakshini Aham Apyavagachami Maithilim Janakatmajam Neyamarhati Vaikalyam Ravanantah Puresati Ananyahi Maya Sita Bhaskarasya Prabhayata. Who in this world has the power to separate Sita from me? Like how the rays, the pristine rays of the sun cannot be separated from the sun, so is Sita who cannot be separated from me. Now after having gotten the Agni Pariksha done, the Pattabhishekam for Vibhishana done, Vibhishana wanted to attend Rama Pattabhisheka. So they all sat in the Pushpaka Vimanam, and from Lanka Pradesham, while they were coming to Bharata Desham, Rama was describing those places in the battlefield where he managed to kill each of the Rakshasas. So as they cross, there is one line which says, Atra Purvam Mahadevaha Prasadam Akarot Vibhuhu. This is where Mahadeva was propitiated. So there are two versions to it. One version states that Mahadeva Shabdam denotes Samudra Raja, because Samudra Raja, which essentially means Varuna Devata, is a Deva. He is Mahadeva because he owns the large Samudra. How do we know Mahadeva Shabdam denotes only Samudra Raja? Because before constructing the Setu, Rama only propitiated Mahadeva, who is Samudra Raja. So, Atra Purvam Mahadevaha Prasadam Akarod Vibhuhu. Rama tells Sita, this is where I propitiated Samudra Raja, who is also called as Mahadeva. One version. The second version states that Mahadeva denotes Shiva, who is generally denoted by the word Mahadeva. And this is where Sita, I propitiated Lord Shiva. So that place is called Rameshwaram today. And Shiva is called as Ramanatha Swami. But there is a small opposition to that. Opposition is, how can Paramatma Sriman Narayana propitiate Shiva? That is not surprising. Even in Krishna Avataram, Krishna and his wife Jambavati took a Kailasha Yatra to obtain a son. So even if he is Paramatma, he will always be subservient to his devotees. He says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. And Shiva is called as Vaishnavana Aham Shambhu. Amongst Vishnu devotees, Vaishnavas, I am Shambhu. So Krishna propitiating Shiva in Krishna Avataram or Rama propitiating Shiva in Rama Avataram is not a viruddham to his Paratattvam. But there are two versions. Mahadeva Shabdam could denote Samudra Raja. Mahadeva Shabdam could denote Shiva. In either case, him propitiating Samudra Raja or propitiating Mahadeva Shiva, both are not viruddham in Shastram. Now, then he says, this is where I constructed the Setu. Setu bandha iti khyatam trailokya cha pujitam. Etat pavitram paramam mahapataka nashanam. From now on, Sita, whoever goes to the Setu and takes bath, all their sins will be washed away. Then he stops at Kishkindha, takes all the monkeys and the Vanaras and the Vanara Patnis along. Then he reaches Bharadwaja Ashramam. And then he sends Hanuman in the front. He sends Hanuman, you go in the front. Because in Nandigramam, in a few more seconds, the 14th year is coming to a close. I am sure my brother will fall into blazing fire. You go and stop him. Hanuman has always been the ambulance. When Sita had to commit suicide, he will come and stop her. When Sita was worried what will happen to the outcome of Rama Ravana Yuddham, he will go and tell, don't worry Mata, Rama has won. When Bharata had to fall into the fire, he will go and stop Bharata. Hanuman in Madhva Sampradayam is called Mukhya Prana Devata. Vayu Jivottama, Hari Sarvottama. So, this Hanuman will always ensure that he does good to the people around him. So he goes and stops Bharata. Bharata says, Devo va manusho va tvam anukrosha ihagataha priyakhyanasya te saumya dadani dhruvatah priyam. While he was about to fall into the fire, Hanuman says, don't, Rama is coming. Bharata praises Hanuman again and he knows that Rama is coming. He waits for Rama to come. And the Paduka Devi is again joined with Rama before the Pattabhishekam. Now for the Pattabhishekam, first thing, Bharata arranges the barber. Because Rama throughout the 14 years, Lakshmana throughout the 14 years, they had long beards and mustaches, big jatas. They didn't use a barber at all. Where do you have the barbers in the forest? So they had a dikshat. So Shmashuvardhanaha, says Valmiki, barbers were arranged. Now finally they got shaved. And they had a jata. That jata was cut, only the relevant hair was kept. And then, for the great Pattabhishekam, all the different holy waters from all the different nadis and samudras were brought by the Vanaras. For the Pattabhishekam, all the devatas had come except Indra. It is this absence of Indra that makes him come during Govinda Pattabhishekam of Srimad Bhagavata. Indra sent his gift through Vayu. Sarvaratna samayuktam manibhischa vibhushitam muktaharam narendraya dadau shakra prachoditaha. So Shakra, Indra, gave his gift through Vayu to Rama. Rama thought he has already got too many chains. He gives it to Sita. Sitaye pradadau ramas chandrarashmi samaprabham araje vasasi divye shubhanya bharanani cha. Then he gave it away to Sita. Pradehi subhagam haram yasya tushtasi bhamini. He said, whomever you want, you give it to him, Sita. Atha sa vayuputraya tamharam asitekshana. The moment Rama gave and told Sita, give it to anybody whom you like, whom you feel is qualified for this haram, she had her eyes cast on Vayuputra Hanuman. Isn't it Hanuman who is in a way the hero in Kishkindha Kandam, Sundara Kandam, Yuddha Kandam? She calls Hanuman and gives the haram to him. While everybody was given a gift, Vibhishana, one of the greatest bhaktas, sought the Ikshvaku Kuladhanam, the family deity of the Ikshvaku people called as Ranganatha, and he was given the Ranganatha Swami's Divyamangala Vigraham with the Vimanam, and that is the one that you see in Sri Rangam in Tamil Nadu today. So the Kuladaivam, Kuladhanam of Rama was given by Rama to Vibhishana, who established it between the two streams of Kaveri, Ubhaya Kaveri Madhya, as Ranganatha Swami in the state of Tamil Nadu in a beautiful town called as Sri Rangam. Now, when all these gifts were given, collected, when the waters were brought, that is when all the rishis had gathered, all the ministers had gathered, The citizens of Ayodhya, the men, the women, the children of all ages had gathered. The residents of Kishkindha Rajyam, the Vanaras with their patnis had gathered. Vibhishana was there. All the Devatas, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras were looking at this Pattabhishekam. That is when the 18 steps to reach the throne of Ayodhya, that was gilded in gold. Rama and Sita had their ceremonial bath. Sita's hair was tied. She had the beautiful lotus in her hand as she held Rama's hand, who was now draped in beautiful silk clothes, as both of them walked with Bharata holding the Chakram, Lakshmana Shatrughna doing the Chamaraka Inkariyam as they walked into the Sabha and as they walked up the 18 steps gilded in gold. Turned towards the Simhasanam that was once adorned by Ikshvaku, Mandata, Aja, Dilipa, Asamanjas, Amshuman, Raghu, Dilipa, Aja, Dasharatha, and later by a great Rani called Paduka Devi, was now waiting for the Avatara Purusha Rama, and Rama sat on the throne with one leg kept on the footstool. Sita was seated beside him on the Eka Simhasanam. Bharata was holding the Chhatram behind. Lakshmana and Shatrughna were doing the Chamaraka Inkariyam. All of the people who were witnessing were having akshada, the turmeric rice in their hand, beautiful flowers in their hands. That is when Vasishtha came forward with the Veda Ghosham of all the rishis, and all the Pheri Vadyam was played, the sound of the conch was heard, different kinds of auspicious instruments were played, and that is when the crown of Rama, Ayodhya, was taken and it was placed on Rama. Ramam Ratnamaye Pithe Sasitam Sanyaveshayat Vasishtho Vamadevascha Javanit Athakashyapah Katyayanaha Suyajnyascha Gautamo Vijayastatha Abhyasinchan Naravyagram Prasannena Sugandhina Sanilena Sahasraksham Vasavo Vasavam Yatha Ramam Ratnamaye Pite Sasitam Sanyaveshayat Vasishtho Vamadevascha Javanit Athakashyapah Katyayanaha Suyajnyascha Gautamo Vijayastatha Abhyasinchan Naravyagra Prasannena Sugandhina Sanilena Sahasraksham Vasavo Vasavam Yatha. So the Pattabhishekam was held in such a grand manner, and it was a feast to the eyes of the people, be it Valmiki, Vyasa later, Shukabrahmam in Bhagavatam, Parashara Maharshi in Vishnu Puranam. They say there can be no sight in this world that is as auspicious as Rama Pattabhishekam. And what great moment we have this year in 2024, that the Rama Janmabhoomi, where Rama was born, after so much of turmoil, we have such a beautiful, elegant temple being constructed for Rama, where the little Rama, because in a Rama Janmabhoomi you'll have the little Rama, Rama Lalla with his parivar will be seated on the golden throne. It is a momentous occasion for every person who adheres to Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, just not in Bharatadesham, across the continents and across different countries, to witness this momentous sight. There he says, Ramo Ramo Rama iti prajana bhavan kathaha Rama bhutam jagat bhut Rame rajyam prashasati Dashavarsha sahasrani Dashavarsha shatani cha Bhratrivihi sahita shriman Ramo rajyam akarayat Bhaktya Ramasya ye chemam Samhitam rishina kritam Ye likhantiha cha narana Tesham vasa vishitepi. So, for those of you who have been listening to Ramayana, you will get the phalam of Ramayana, Bhagavatam, Bharatam, Gita, Vishnu Sahasranamam, everything, because Rama Namam and Ramayana Pathanam is so very auspicious in Sanatana Dharma. I wholeheartedly thank all the sponsors, all the Astikas for having supported this venture that began on the day of Rama Navami in 2023, and it is concluding on the Uttarayana Punyakalam Makara Shankaranti devoted to Surya Deva For Surya Deva, we offer Gayatri Mantram, and it is in the Surya Vansham that Rama was born. So it began on Ramanavami and ending on Makara Shankaranti, which is Uttarayana Punyakala. In this due course of me speaking on the Ramayana, mainly from the Valmiki Ramayana with references to Kamba Ramayanam in Tamil, many kritis in the Telugu of Annamacharya, Bhadrachala Ramadas and Tyagaraja, many kritis in Kannada, references to Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, Kumara, Valmiki, references to Tunjattu Ramanuja Ezhuthachan in Malayalam, a few references from the Ramayanam in Marathi, Bhanabhaktacharya's Ramayanam in Nepali, Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa in Sanskritam, the various commentators like Govindaraja, Tilaka, Madhava Yogin, Uthari and so on and so forth, various references to the Ramacharita by Goswami Tulsidas. In this due course, while commenting upon all these sections, I may have committed various mistakes with respect to the grammar, with respect to the vocabulary, even at times minorly with the content. And sure, all you Astikas, with your respected age, experience, wisdom, will kindly forgive me for any mistakes made in this due course. And may this Rama Bhakti, Ramayana Bhakti, live through you, to your family and to many other generations. Jai Shri Ram, Shri Rama Jaya. Namaskar.
Jayatyashrita santrasa dhvanta vidvamsa nodayaha prabhavan sitaya devya paramavyoma bhaskaraha. Ramayana is such a beautiful itihasa sreshtham that links different parts of Bharatadesham and just not Bharatam, different parts of the subcontinent. 292 episodes in simple English for 15 minutes every day on the Ramayana. We began on the Ramanavami and we are going to conclude on the Makara Shankaranti Uttarayana Punyakala. This is a lamp that you see in front of me. My great grandfather, my mother's father's father, Pundi, Sri Rangaswamy Iyengar, used to recite the verses of the Valmiki Ramayana religiously every day for 365 days a year for a period of 40 years. And this is the lamp that he used to light. And here are the two bound books which are over 100 years old, which he used to read the verses of the Ramayana from. And here is the wooden stand, the book stand that he used to keep the Ramayana in. Fortunately, I have bequeathed all of them. My great-grandfather was called Pattabhirama Iyengar. My maternal grandfather was called Veera Raghavan. My daughter is named after Sita Devi as Kshitija. Everything in our family has an association with the Ramayana. I am sure, 100% sure, each of you will have an association with the Ramayana, either with a name, either in the form of a book, either in the form of a lamp, either in the form of a beautiful murti of Rama, either in the form of a beautiful painting of Rama. So let's use the hashtag Ramayana for us and tag and let us know how much each of us have loved Rama, Sita, the entire Rama Parivar and the Ramayana. This is a moment which we can create with very little efforts from our side till the inauguration of the grand Sri Rama Janmabhoomi temple. Jai Shri Ram.
Namaskara Mastikas. I'm tentatively scheduled to travel to Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the mid-February, to 7 cities in the countries of Australia and New Zealand, namely Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland and Wellington between the 25th of February and the 25th of March. I'm scheduled to travel to Singapore either in the month of April or January, and later I'll be rendering discourses in New Jersey, Boston, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and then in St. Louis and Indianapolis in the month of July. I'm sure you would love to share this message with your friends and relatives. Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.